what I know is when I start to get tired, I lose form, and I'm reaching in my hand entry. I'm then sort of reaching out, stretching, and then it's kind of becoming a lazy catch and pull as opposed to a bit more crisp and sharp. And and I think I'm just losing the form of where my arm is and what it should be doing, and where my hand is. So that whole thing. I know what it's supposed to look like, but I think it's probably just getting a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you've never seen yourself underwater and you've seen the videos and the clips from some food, you're kind of, for example, the arm should be kind of 100 to 120 degrees when you pull through.
Yeah.
So we'll see what you think, what yours is when you have a look.
Exactly.
All right. You've done really well. I mean, in terms of speed, have you sped up with the work that you've been doing? You've been making progress.
Yeah. I mean, I with the CSS, which again didn't really understand until I got involved with I was like 210, about 6 months at the beginning of summer. And so I've gradually been working on technique mainly, a little bit of endurance and strength to get it down a little bit. And that's kind of where I am now. And to be honest, I'm not actually swim fit at the moment. I've had a kind of like 4 weeks off. I mean, I've been swimming, but not really kind of training very hard. So
Okay. Well, I mean, so what we'll go through now, just so as you know how it all works, is obviously we've filmed you, and this will be recording everything we say, everything on the screen is going to be recorded. So you get a copy of this to go away. So you don't need to try and remember everything. All right. So we'll have a look at your stroke, and we'll pick out the key issues which we think we're going to get the most mileage out of today, okay? Because even the best swimmers in the world have got a multitude of things. If you kind of split it down into tiny details, that can be worked on. But with swimming, you can only really focus on one or two things at a time. Otherwise, it becomes too much for you to kind of compute while you're swimming. So we'll have a look at the main issues which jump out at us. We'll go through some drills and things on here. So we've got it all recorded, and I'll also send you a link through to the Guru app and just to the specific drills that we talk about, so you know exactly which ones you need to work on. All right? And then, of course, the idea of getting you back in the pool is knowing that you're doing the drills correctly. Because the amount of people that I see doing drills, they'll watch a Slim Smooth video and they'll go and do it and they think they're doing it correctly, but they might as well not do it.
And that's kind of where I've been. I think the 6 months I've kind of been looking at videos, kind of thinking I understand it, and take it to the pool, think I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I can think, this is definitely working. Sometimes I think, I'm not sure if I get this because it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So again, kind of need a bit more eyes-on feedback here, rather than DIY.
Do you think you hold your breath at all?
I used to.
Okay.
I don't think I do anymore. I feel fairly comfortable in my breathing.
I don't say that for any reason, just that it's one of the first things that we look at, and of course you can't really see it very clearly until you start dipping under the water.
Sure.
So from the side angle then, what we look at is, we look at a number of things, but really we're looking at the head position as you turn to breathe, and the recovery of the arms over the water. Okay, so first thing I noticed then is you've got a nice high elbow recovery here, and a good amount of water clearance over the water. And you're spearing in. We'll have a look from above to give us a better angle at this, a better look at this. But you're spearing in front of the shoulder from what it looks like, but you can see where your arm is headed already. You're kind of headed over that way. But we'll have a look from above, which will give us a clearer view of what we're trying to see. Now, this is one of the things that sometimes, if you're self-coached and you think you're doing something, and you need someone to look at you. This is a perfect example of this, because crossing over or heading towards the centre line with the arms is something which is very difficult for you to know whether you're straight or not. A lot of times, particularly if you're breathing, your head position isn't quite right. So you're breathing away from the hand, you're turning the head, so you can't even see the hand as it comes in the water. All right, so there's a good reason for, there's one of the main reasons for not being able to see what's kind of going on there. It's quite common. So recovery looks okay. You're spearing in. I suspect when we look from a different angle, you're going to be heading over in that direction. So maybe a tendency to kind of cross over. So it might need to straighten you up a little bit. Okay. So that's spearing in we can see it travelling under the water there. I suspect you're a little bit high-handed
Yeah.
under the water.
Yeah.
You can just see the hand there. But we'll have a look at that in a second from a different angle. Left arm, same thing. Nice high elbow at the top. Spearing in nicely with the fingertips there. And again, we can't really see the angle of the hand into the water, but that looks fine from what I can see. Haven't seen you breathe yet. You've got a very forward-looking head position there.
It's something yeah.
Which works for some people,
Yeah.
but when we dip under the water, we'll see, because sometimes that can have quite an effect on your leg position.
My head position, actually, just saying that, is I think up until about 3 months ago, before Christmas,
Yeah.
I was looking basically at the bottom of the pool,
Okay.
and someone pointed out, another guy pointed out and said, "You know, you actually stood in front of me." He said, "When did you see my feet?" And that's basically when I crashed into it.
Yeah,
He said,
yeah.
"That's you need to look up. You know, you got to work it out for you.
Yeah.
You got to look up to some extent."
Yeah.
And now I don't know, maybe too high. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
point.
Okay. Well, let's run it through. I mean, I haven't seen you breathe to this. Here we go. Breathing to this side. So that's one of the things always look out for, is the head position. The body follows the head. Okay. The upper body follows the head. If you lift the head up too high, then the legs will have a tendency to drop. It's like a seesaw effect. Ultimately, you'll probably know more than most of this stuff through reading all the bump on the guru. But
Yeah, but it's good to say, the point to it.
yeah. So what we looked at with the head position, and again, you're probably completely aware of this, but just so as we've got it on, oops, wrong button, got it on here, is we're looking for kind of Popeye head position. So when you turn to breathe, so Paul's in a similar position there, his arm recovering up, and his head, if you look at his head, it just doesn't really alter position. He's turning to breathe, and it's staying in alignment with his spine.
Yeah.
So his head is low,
Yeah.
and you have this bow wave which forms around the top of the head and makes a little trough for you to breathe into.
Yeah.
Hence Popeye breathing out the side of his mouth there, like Popeye chewing a spinach, and that's what we're trying to achieve. So lifting your head up like this will disturb the bow wave. It won't give the bow wave chance to form, which means you won't get the trough. So lifting your head actually means you have to lift your head up to get the depth of time to breathe, if that makes sense. It's kind of slightly counterintuitive. Keep it lower, then it'll actually give you a little space to breathe into.
Got it.
So we can do a little bit of work on that, because that's quite an important thing. Because if we have a look under the water, we'll dip under the water here. So all we've seen really from that side is the head position, and I suspect you've got a little bit of a crossover with your stroke.
Yeah.
So this is where the magic happens. We start to dip under the water here. Okay. Now, it's always interesting to see what people think about their overall body position in the water. Your body position isn't too low. I mean, you do have a tendency to, you are kind of coming down a little bit with the back end.
Yeah.
And we'll play it through and try and figure out why this is happening here. So we'll look for a better shot in a minute. But what we can see here is the recovering arm is coming into the water, and it's coming in quite flat.
Yeah.
And in fact, what we'll do, let's try and find a clearer. We'll get you on the way back. There we go. So that looks nice, super straight. That looks nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're spearing in. Spearing in. That's a nice hand entry. But what you're doing at that point is you're kind of aiming too high with the hand almost. So you're spearing in and you're staying high, and that's forcing the elbow to drop. Forcing the elbow to drop.
Yeah.
So if you'd have speared in and carried on with that angle, that trajectory there, down
Straight
here,
into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you would be setting yourself up for the catch rather than trying to overextend and let that elbow drop. And it's quite a simple change.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of thing that you're here for, because that is actually something which because I guess I kind of get the impression that you're quite self-aware. And if you've done so well with your training self-coach, then you will be quite good at coaching, doing things yourself in the pool. So I suspect you will be able to kind of make some quite simple adjustments with this, but that's certainly one thing we'll be looking at. Your stroke rate itself is fairly low.
Yeah.
So your stroke rate's about 53, 54, 55 thereabouts, which is not excessively low because you're quite a big guy. Bigger guys generally have lower stroke rates, but I would like to see that kind of up towards 60 to 65 really.
Okay.
So, which is actually quite a substantial change. Now, if you imagine, if you spear in and extend the stroke too long, it's going to increase your stroke rate. Sorry, decrease your stroke rate. It's going to give you a slower stroke rate because you're lengthening everything out.
Yeah.
We get you spearing in, we won't even need to work on your stroke rate. It will automatically rise.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
So,
makes sense. Yeah.
So this is one thing. A lot of this is to do with the flexibility. So if we look at somebody like Rebecca Adlington, in here. Come on, finger trouble. Right, so Rebecca Adlington, she's not too shabby in the pool.
Yeah. So I've heard.
Let's just try and get something the same way. Okay, so now Rebecca herself actually has a little issue with a stroke here in that she spears in, and you can see she's actually got a little bit of a high. Yeah. So even someone like her has got issues that can be addressed in her stroke. It's incredible that you can see Steve faults in people like that. But because she's super flexible, she is able to keep control of the front end of the stroke, and actually start to generate some propulsion right at the start of the stroke by dipping that wrist, and that is all to do with the flexibility in the shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay. Most guys like you and I, a little bit less flexible in the shoulders, and you're going to have to spear deeper. Otherwise, the elbow has no choice but to drop.
Yeah.
And a simple test for that really is if you, I'm not very flexible at all, and if you put your hands up above your head against, you have your shoulder blades, and your head against the wall, and just gently lift your arms forward until the point where you start to feel the tightness and a little bit of restriction there. That is ultimately, if you imagine the water is the wall.
Yeah, that's where your hand is.
That's where you're going to be.
Yeah.
And it's actually, it's kind of maybe 15 inches deep. It's actually quite deep.
Yeah.
It's actually quite deep. So that's quite a good test for you to do just to see where you should be aiming with that hand. All right. So we'll do a little bit of work on just spearing in a little bit deeper. I'm not too concerned about the way you're recovering and the way you're spearing in terms of some people kind of come in from first entry or slap down a little bit. Your hand entry is actually quite nice. You're coming in with the fingertips, but it's just that you're going like that.
Yeah.
And you're slipping forward at the front, gliding forward at the front almost. So spearing straight to catch. That's definitely one thing we're going to work on. All right. So next thing for you, and we go back just to this position here. One of the main reasons your legs are low is because you've now adapted to look too far forward. You're looking up here now.
Yeah.
Lift your head up, your legs are going to drop because it pulls your chest up, drops the legs down. All right. Simple tuning of the head position should be enough just to kind of redress that balance a little bit, get the legs up a little bit higher.
A couple of years ago, that was the problem. So then I started looking down, and I ended up looking down too much.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realise it, like I said, until about 3 months ago. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And now I've gone too far the other way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 6 to 8 feet.
I get it.
6 to 8 feet. So it's going to be in the middle. If you're looking you're looking pretty much down towards the far end of the kind of the corner of the pool as you're swimming along the lane there. You want to be looking 6 to 8 feet down there, and that'll be sufficient for you. And that should allow you to see the hands and have a little bit of focus. So you're looking far forward enough to be able to see the hands and what they're doing, and have some control and focus on what the hands are doing, but not so far that the legs are going to drop down. All right, so head positions we'll do some work on. Let's have a look at your breathing then. See if there's anything else that causing those legs to drop. Because if you hold your breath, pulls the chest up because of the air, legs drop down again. Taking a breath there. And that's good. Looks like you've got a steady stream of bubbles coming out there. So you've obviously been, that's bang on, that's fine. That's fine. Not concerned about your breathing.
Good.
Your kick, it's okay. Toes are pointed. Got a decent 6-beat kick going on there. Maybe bending a little bit too much at the knee, but I'm not too concerned about that. We've got kind of bigger fish to fry really that we can kind of get stuck into. So don't worry about the kick. The kick normally will react to other things that are going on further up the stroke. All right. So if the front of the stroke's out of balance, then your legs will split to balance things up. All right. So very often we fix the front end stuff, and the back end stuff sorts itself out.
Okay.
Unless people have got a terrible kick, and then we have to work on it. But your kick is okay. We're not worried about that. Yeah. Do you do much kick work?
No.
No?
The short answer, no.
Yep.
It's mainly front end.
Yep. Okay, fine.
Mainly front end.
Yeah, I don't. We don't. I mean, I run 5 swim squads a week. So every morning I'm coaching, and we don't do any kick work.
Yeah.
In fact, that's not quite true. We certainly don't do any kick work with the board, like they do in masters sessions. You're playing up and down with a kick board. Forget it. No point. Most triathletes, the kick is about balance. It's balancing up the stroke. It's not about propulsion for most people. You don't need to have propulsion there. Just needs to be. We just need to make sure it's not a bad kick and it's not just slowing it down.
Yeah, it's not doing something for the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not causing like a little anchors at the back or anything like that. So the main thing really so far, those hands at the front. Now, one more issue that I want to kind of look at with you. In fact, actually, I'll have a look from above as well. So, let's shake the camera around because I had water on the camera lens, so I'm a bit wobbly there. So, let's have a look. So, of course, what we want to be seeing from the top end here is we want everything to be going in the direction of travel.
Yep.
Everything in as alignment as it can be. Alignment towards the end of the pool. So, this hand, spearing in front of the shoulder more or less. But what I'm seeing a little bit, it's not too bad, I must say, is we're heading over that way a little bit.
Yeah, I see that.
So rather than extending, spearing in front of the shoulder, what should happen is you should spear in front of the shoulder and extend forward in front of the shoulder and then pull through beneath the shoulder. It's all in line. So you can see yourself heading over that way a little bit with that hand. But don't get me wrong, it's not too bad because you straighten it out very quickly. Alright, so that is nice. That's really nice. Recovering arm comes over the top. Just look at watching your legs here because the lead arm is going early, a little bit early. And the legs are balancing up because that lead arm's going. That's why the legs are kind of going like that. And then a little crossover kick here.
When you say a little early, you mean
that lead arm, yeah, that lead arm is dropping early. I'll show you underneath the water. Okay. Only a tiny bit. Spearing in front of the shoulder again. Extending forward. That's fine.
So the right
that's
looks okay. The left is a bit.
Yeah, just, I mean, it's not even particularly anything we need to worry about today, I don't think. We might do a little bit of work on it, but it's nothing too much. I mean, some people are like over here.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, they're all over the place. That is not a huge problem. That's not a huge problem. That's almost kind of the next stage of fine-tuning once we move along a little bit. Okay. Now, here we go. You can see that arm is going. So we should always have a hand in front of the forehead here. It's what they call front quadrant swimming. All right, so there should always be a hand at the front. So as soon as that hand is kind of starting to pull, the other one is spearing in. So there's always something at the front of the stroke providing you with either propulsion or support. Okay. If that lead arm goes early, then you can have a tendency to over-rotate and lose a bit of balance in the water, which is why your legs kind of start to give a bit of a kick. Yeah. Now, let's have a look underneath the water. And this is one of the things I was kind of trying to build up to really is, and I think this will sort itself out when we start to do the catch tune-up. So we know that your hand is a little bit high.
You can see the elbow there. Just before it sort of drops and then there.
So okay, I mean that's kind of similar to Rebecca. Is what a little bit low, but you need to even if you drop it down a little bit, you need to be really quick at getting it over the top, not letting it drag on like that. So, but what I'm going to try and show you here, it actually doesn't look too bad from this angle, is I'm looking at the angle of this arm as it pulls through. So it's actually not too bad. It's actually not too bad. I thought it was going to be a lot straighter than that. So this is what I'm looking at here, is this angle here. So it should be between 100 and 120 degrees. And we'll see what happens when you breathe. Because this is where I think we're going to see what I'm expecting to see is a bit of a straight arm pull through. So when you turn to breathe, look at that arm, straight, 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 all the way through. Okay?
Yeah.
So you've got a big lever pushing down here. So rather than spearing in and grabbing the water and pushing all that water back, you've got a big lever pushing down, and you're pushing the water down. Push the water down, it lifts the front of the body up, lifts the legs drop. So it's another reason why the legs drop down again.
Yeah.
All right. Nearly always when people breathe. It's nearly always when people breathe. So we can do some drills, which will get you focusing on having the hand in the correct position when you turn to breathe, and just knowing what it feels like to actually take a stroke as you're breathing.
Sure.
So I'm talking away from you here, but
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So rather than pushing away as you turn to breathe.
Yeah.
It's very common.
Okay.
So we'll have a look at it from a different angle in a second. In fact, if we have a look at it from down here. Just waiting for you to breathe. There we go. There's the breath.
Yeah.
Push, push, push. So what we're looking for is at what point in this stroke do we start getting some propulsion? We want things to be going that way.
Yeah.
Yeah? Otherwise, there ain't nothing making you go forwards at the moment.
Got to rely on the leg kick.
You got to rely on the leg kick. So that hand's coming in, and if you look at it, down, 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 down. So we're pushing down at the moment. That way. Down. And then maybe when it gets down there, we start kind of heading back a little bit.
Heading in the right direction, but not a lot.
Yeah. So we're losing most of the front end of that stroke, all the way down to there, before we actually get any propulsion. That causes you to slow down, loss of momentum. So you can see how just some tweaks to your stroke in terms of getting you to look a bit further down to get those legs up, spearing in earlier or deeper, just bringing that stroke rate up and improving the quality of the catch is what's going to make you go. All right. That is pretty much.
It's kind of the key takeaway.
That's the thing. That's what we need to get stuck into. So,
okay.
So what we're going to do is we are going to start off a very basic drill, which is kicking on the side drill. Which don't do that. Go away. So the kick on the side drill. Have you done that before? Have you seen that in the... Yeah? Where are we? Where's it gone? Have I just moved it by doing that? How strange. I think I've just put it somewhere. Anyway, we'll show you on this one. So 616. 616 is the same as kick on the side, but it's got a stroke in it. Oh, there we go. I've put it in the wrong place. I moved it. So... Now, I had a look at your fins earlier, wherever they are.
No.
They're too short.
Yeah.
They're too short. They're going to require you to kick much harder, so you can't focus on the drill so much. You're going to be thinking more about kicking and getting a breath because these make you tired and kick hard.
Yeah.
So get some long fins, and I'll try you with these, and you'll see a difference. Okay. So now. You don't really have a huge alignment issue. We have a little bit of a crossover as we discussed, but nothing major. But I want you to do this drill because, let's play it full time actually, full speed.
Hand position.
Hand position, you're holding yourself in that position, and I'll show you a subtle difference in terms of arm, how you have your arm outstretched in a minute. So having your arm in the correct position, but also turning to breathe and keeping that arm where it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not letting it move, not letting it drop. Alright? It stays high. No difference when you breathe.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we'll do kick on the side.
So yeah, I guess what you're saying is, if I doing that drill myself, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
What I'm probably doing is moving the arm around to give me some support when I'm moving my head.
Yeah, or worse, or worse still is what a lot of people do with that drill is a lot of coaches will say, because BTF, British Triathlon, teach all this stuff now. All their coaches get trained in it.
Yeah.
But if the coach doesn't know what they're looking for, they'll get them to just swim out, swim your arm out straight. That's all you need to do. Kick on your side, your arm out straight. The difference is that is very important for how you hold this arm, because if you hold it straight like that, shoulder blades back, chest out, that's fine. But think about it, you can't take a stroke from that position because the elbow doesn't bend that way. It just doesn't bend that way.
Yeah.
So you have to drop the elbow. So kick on the side, you have to rotate the elbow out.
Big.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you could get into a catch from there.
Yeah.
And that's just a subtle difference, and that's the kind of thing that you need to be aware of when you're doing the drills.
Yeah.
Do it like that, no point doing it. Do it like that, you're right to get into the catch.
And then you can feel. Yeah.
Yeah?
That makes sense.
You should be able to just start and catch when you're going along, but you practice it when you're doing the drill. I can take a stroke now from 1 to 2. Yeah? So 6-1-6 is same as kicking on the side, but with a full stroke back into control on the other side.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to rattle through these because you'll be absolutely fine with these. You'll have seen this. It's a quick progression. It's a standard progression up to 6-3-6. So we start to build up into full stroke. So 1, 2, 3, full stroke, back in control on the side. All right.
This 6-3-6 remind me. I always find I lose the breathing on 6-3-6.
Yeah. Okay.
So when is it that you breathe?
Immediately after the stroke, the last stroke.
Yeah.
Breathe, back in.
And then.
So you don't breathe again until he's finished the 3 strokes.
Yeah.
Breathe.
For some reason, that always makes me feel out of breath. Yeah.
Right.
That one just.
That'll be the fins.
Yeah, could be.
That'll be more than likely be the fins.
Yeah.
Or if you're concentrating really hard, you might be holding your breath.
I'd be holding my breath as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas 6-1-6, I like it as a drill.
Yeah.
Right or wrong.
Yeah.
6-3-6, I always seem. Why am I losing my breath on this? I can never work it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of head position, I'm not going to show you anything on here because it's super simple. I'm going to get you doing some swimming with the fins on.
Yeah.
And we're going to try you looking forward.
Yeah.
We're going to try you looking at 45 degrees, and we're going to try you looking straight down. Yeah. So you can just sense the different head positions. All right. And I'll have a look at you and see how close your bum comes to the surface, because it'll come a little bit higher up.
Yeah.
Might start seeing your heels a bit more as you move your head position. All right. We'll do these drills first of all in the head position, and then I'm going to see what difference that makes, because I think doing some of these things will automatically, because your hand will be in a better position, will start to affect the way you catch and pull through. So some of that straight arm pull through may automatically sort itself out. Sometimes there's a chain reaction, and you almost don't need to get to the thing that you were intending on getting to. Yeah. So if we need to do any work on it, we'll do some basic drills such as sculling. Yeah. Sculling is perfect for you, and again, it's a standard drill. Sometimes I want to give people amazing drills that they've never seen before, and not give them things that you've seen all the time.
Yeah.
But these are the key drills for you, because you think about sculling. We're going to practice you getting into that position. Sculling is then getting it ingrained in there that you want to constantly be in this position. hands below, wrist below, elbow. Kind of getting it dialed in, that's the position you want to be in.
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to do some sculling. And then once you've got yourself used to being in that position, doggy paddle. Doggy paddle. We're then going to, so we've speared in, we've sculled, we're there, doggy paddle, we're then going to get up, push that water back. All right. So super simple drills. It's not kind of it's not super complicated stuff at all. There are some other drills which we probably won't get onto today. It might be something for. I'll put it on here so I've mentioned it to you. But the javelin drill. We spent half this clip talking, so I'll just kind of whiz through this. Kicking on the side with a pointer paddle, freestyler paddle on the lead arm there. So the idea of this drill is to get you used to, just wait until he starts. He'll take a stroke in a second. Well, first of all, kicking on the side with the freestyler paddle, have you got any of those?
No.
Okay. They have a little keel on them.
Yeah.
So you can sense when that arm may be shifting out of position.
Okay.
You have a single strap around the middle finger there, and you can really kind of tune in. Because if your hand is over there, of course the keel's going to be going sideways.
So you're going to get the resistance.
You're going to start, So it makes you sense that you need to straighten things up a little bit. So even if you're just doing kick on your side with the paddle on and nothing else, it'll make sure you're nice and straight. Will certainly help to anyway. So what he's doing here, I'll just slow it down here. Now this is quite a good one for you, which is the reason I'm kind of showing it to you here, is when Paul breathes here, this is Paul Newsom from Swim Smooth, the guy that started it.
Sure.
Remember what we said about your arm when you turn to breathe is pulling down straight. Here, the lead arm is staying where it should be, so it's staying high. But because he's got the paddle on, and he's actually being able to focus on pulling the arm through and getting a good high elbow catch underneath the water. So, again, what you do is you all this. I'll give you links to these so you can watch the whole video at home.
Sure.
So kick on your side, and then you start swimming full stroke, breathing away from the hand paddle. And because you're breathing away from it, it really allows you to focus in on the arm. That's normally the problem. Yeah, so you just focus on that one arm with the paddle on, and really make sure it's in good position while you're taking the stroke. That'll be great for you with that straight arm on the one side, particularly when you're breathing.
Yeah.
So if you breathe on both sides, so you just practice on both sides with the drill.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Good.
But he's focused on one arm at a time.
Yeah.
Because he's got just paddle on one arm, so he's thinking about his right arm in that one.
He's just thinking about his right arm.
About what he's doing, where is it, what is it?
Yeah.
And then swap over, do it on that.
Yeah.
Got it.
So he would do that drill, start to tune into what it feels like, ditch the drill, ditch the paddle, do some full swimming, but continue to think about just that one side. Do the same thing on the other side, and it's not the kind of thing that's going to go away.
Yeah.
You just slowly start kind of
tuning into
It's the kind of builds the neural muscular pathways and all that kind of stuff, and it gets you tuned into what you should be doing.
Yeah.
It starts to become natural. All right.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think that's enough for now. Any questions or anything?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let me just stop this.